Hello and welcome to another edition of the Wolfpack Discs Fantasy Talk about the PDGA Champions Cup presented by OTB. Here's your host, Brian Papa Wolf Frawley.
At least you said Papa and not Pappy or whatever you
I
said
did say
last time.
Papa. Could have been
Anyways,
Pappy.
hey, how you doing? Zachary's here, Cameron's here, I'm here. We just had our first PDJ major of the year. I thought it was thrilling. Thought it was exciting. I thought we had some things to talk about. But most importantly, I just like to make sure that at the end of the day, when we're all learning all about everything and making sure we're following the rules. Let's just make sure that we look who's in first place before we go any further than right now, because about halfway through round two, Cameron was talking smack already. Um, Richard was relatively quiet for having a good week, and Zach found himself having a backfire of the plan, in my opinion. But yeah, I could still go 13-0 next, or I could go 0 and 13 next weekend, and probably be in first place. That's Cam. Uh, Absolutely has an amazing week. So I like that cushion. I appreciate that cushion. You guys are so polite for having me have that cushion. Overall, it was a pretty solid week, I thought, from most everybody. As far as the game on the course, I thought there was some interesting names of people who didn't make the cut. Max Sheets takes this week's down in our little heads up with Team Stamp West in second, and me in front of Chris, and then Cam. There you go, Cam. You're in fifth. Bryce in sixth, and then it just gets worse from there. So yeah, I guess we'll just start off right away with congrats, Missy, because it's probably the last time anyone's going to say that, because everyone else
Woo.
is going to talk about the other thing that happened on the FPO side. But Hannah Wynn came out with a hot round, first round, right? That's what everyone's going to talk about.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely that. And then Paige, it was vintage Paige going for 18, I think, in the major column, 17 or 18 there. You have to check my math. But yeah, no, there was a moment during the final round. Zachary texted me almost immediately right after. I knew he was watching. Cameron was paying attention. So congrats to the PDGA for making the news.
Yeah.
Zach, what's you're the closest man to Inside the Ropes that we got on this 13 Views podcast.
Ooh. Hard,
What's it like in
hard,
there, bud?
man, it's interesting. Honestly, the hard takeaway from this for me was there were a lot of complaints made all across the internet for Tatar, against Tatar. It's a football. It should be called. The hard reality of it is that there should be a policy change, and I don't think it's that the marshal can't make a call, but it should be seconded. I mean, when they went to replay in slow mo, it's a one frame difference between when she touches the disc and she lets go of it. Look, I've filmed a lot of disc golf. I've watched a lot of disc golf. I don't think I've ever seen something that close and thought to myself, it's definitely a football, no questions about it. I'm 100% right. Because if it had one frame the other way, we're in a mess of trouble. Because the reality is that they have policies in place right now because of unfair advantages and disadvantages. You can't look at the cameras. You can't go back and check the footage and show them something to see if you're right or wrong in a call because not every card has that. So if you have a marshal that's following the card and not other cards in the field, is that not also a disadvantage or advantage depending on the person in the same light? Again, I don't think that it's appropriate necessarily to say that he can't make a call. That's the point of them being there. If he needs to go to third card to make a call, that's his job. But he definitely, in my opinion, shouldn't be able to make a call that can't be seconded. Kristen Tatar going around be like, did anyone else see anything? That's their job. And they say no. If I was the marshal and that confident, right? She definitely foot faulted. I would have warned the rest of the card for not watching Kristen throw.
Yeah.
If you're going to enforce the rules, enforce the rules. They should have all received warnings for not watching. It was clearly a foot fault. You all get a warning for not watching Kristen throw. You know what I mean? So, like, there seemed to be some inconsistency, betting being introduced, and suddenly you get a call like this really suddenly. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but like that was brought up within cross social media platforms. It's definitely a valid thought in their head to see something like this after that's being introduced. I think it needs to change. I don't think it needs to change a ton, but it definitely needs to be seconded from the card. I don't think he should have that type of autonomy, no questions asked.
So, Cam, Rich, do you find it weird that many of the people that were firing comments right away on the internet there on Sunday were the same people that, say there needs to be a marshal on every hole and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, in a way, I think there should, but clearly, I mean, you've seen there's 5, 6 other videos of other players clearly foot faulting, way worse than what Kristen did. I mean, Kristen was, like he said, like one little frame of difference, and Kristen, Paige kicking her disc like 2 feet in front of her when she was throwing. Marweed on the very last hole.
18's
Apparently
approach, yeah.
heard Ricky kicking as many on his throw in the last hole. And there was a
Let's
few others.
let's just say that for point of clarification, it's a Wolfpack disc official policy that a foot fault by half a millisecond and 8 feet is the same foot fault. It's the same penalty.
Agreed,
Yeah, it's the
100%.
same thing.
100%.
But where were the
I've,
calls on those?
well, that's the argument, but
Yeah,
that doesn't make the call wrong. Like
yeah.
it's like, people get mad when they call a foul at the end of a basketball game or something like that, or like strike somebody out in the bottom of the ninth inning. Like, if it's a strike, it's a strike. I don't care what time of game it is. If it's a foot fault, it's a foot fault. And if you miss some other calls, sure, let's work on that. But at the end of the day, that call was correct.
Again, I don't even think the fact that he's making calls the problem. It's the fact that it can't be seconded, right? I mean, Kristen's argument the whole time was horrendous in my opinion. You're telling me you could see my foot and my hand at the same time, so every baseball
Exactly.
play
Yes, we
umpire
can.
never see both at the same time. Like that's just a
Yeah.
ridiculous argument. It just is. I get where she's coming from, 100%. Like I get it. Advocate, but like that argument was horrible. Like no, I can tell when you stomp and when I hear a snap. Okay, now what? Now what's your argument? So
On
like,
live coverage, on the live coverage, I saw it right away. It wasn't a replay. Like, I saw that, and like, he's standing right there, live, right in front of his face. Like, that's
you got better vision than me. I definitely couldn't tell without a
I
shadow of a doubt that it was a football.
I saw that disc come
Yeah,
out.
I had to see the slow-mo of it. Like I had to really see because it was that close.
Well, in other news, you want to talk about how close the MPO side, you had to go to eighth place in our league, 8 out of 14, to find a player that did not have someone play on the lead card.
Wow.
So there was a little bit, yeah, not quite, Zach. We had to go a few more places to find your name. There
We're
was,
ready for Europe, though. We're ready for Europe now, Zach.
yeah,
Let's go.
Kona Peach Day is all you, Zach. If you don't win, this is gonna backfire. But yeah, we had a pretty big, wide spectrum of player, I would say, on MPO from your forehand friendly, great putters from Michigan, to your, goats, to your European players, to people that maybe aren't as well known, like younger players on the Team DGA, like Andrew Miranda and Sullivan Tipton. I guess outside of the winner, which I didn't know who it was going to be until the final few holes, which is always good for a major. What player kind of surprised you the most? I'll start with Dick.
I mean, obviously, I'm very happy with Marweed. It's a good sidearm course, and he's got great accuracy. Also, with all those like low hanging trees and everything, I mean, he was right there in the mix. I thought he might take it down, but third place out of him is a great finish. I just have to say, I was a bad coach this week.
Mhm.
I
Well, tough.
left. I did the math. I left 386 points differential.
Oh,
If I started my optimal lineup, 386 extra points, I would have been in second place.
yeah,
But
that you would have beat me there, coach.
yeah, but not too mad about it. It's just picked the wrong guys, and Sophia Donachie could have gotten me 80 more points over Valerie. So it's just what can you do? But I'm still in the middle of the pack even after missing out on that many points, so I'm not too mad about it.
Cameron, how'd your bench do? How'd you score? Pretty well, besides Paul
Ben,
Macbeth.
let's see. So Austin Turner got me 214. Gavin got me 66, but he also missed the cut.
Hmm.
Alden got me 149. Silas got me 234. Like, she got me 57. And Chantel with a surprising 195. Like she
He
did
was
great.
shooting.
I don't know how my bench players did, so
I would say Chantel's FPO performance might be most surprising FPO performance
Yeah.
of the weekend. Give or take where you think everyone should line up versus shouldn't line up. But
mm.
yeah, I thought that was above average for her as well. Zach, what did you take away from that?
Honestly, people I thought were surprising on lead were Katrina Allen off FPO. We haven't really seen anything from her at all, and all of a sudden,
Hmm.
I mean, in round two, she was kind of in the mix, right? She was
Hmm.
kind of in that conversation. She charges, she's lead, right? She was in there in round three. I think she finished 11th, if I recall correctly, something like
Yeah.
that. So she didn't have the strongest finish, but I mean, for her to be in that conversation was really important. I think for her to kind of come back, and then Sullivan Tipton, I think in my mind was the MPO surprise for his consistency. He's had a fantastic start to his year. He did last year as well before he petered out in the second half. So I mean, he's shown some amazing consistency, even more than last year. His putting has improved drastically. His decision making is a little better. He's exciting to watch right now. We'll see if he can get the whole season this time under his belt. We'll see if it pays off because I think he really is looking impressive right now.
Yeah, for sure. There was some other themes throughout the weekend. We saw people, unfortunately, that don't do well in majors, not do well or do really well on Sunday. I saw a terrible
Alvin.
comparison of that gentleman and Dak Prescott today, and I had to laugh a little bit for you Cowboys fans out there. So that did make me laugh. Looking at your team, looking at, kind of the seasons going, fantasy disc golf in general just got a little bit more interesting with the other major company putting a little bit of advertisement out there. So I'm a firm believer that a high tide raises all boats. So hopefully we see improvements on any platform that we're doing disc golf and or disc golf betting on too. But Isaac Robinson, he's good. Um, he's really good. And I have two questions for you. And the first one is this. You are now the owner of the third biggest disc golf company in the world. You figure out which one that is in your head. All right?
Got
And
it.
everyone's a free agent. Can you pick five people ahead of him?
Yes.
You do?
Mhm.
Past and present, or does it
No,
just
no,
have to be?
no, no. Like you're signing them today on uh
Yes.
May 5th. So you're
Easily.
confident that you're picking five that you think are better value than him?
Yes. Advertising wise and for your
Yeah.
company, yes.
I,
You want
I'm
me to, you want me to do them right now? Like I can go real quick.
okay. There's one that's really obvious. Let's name that. Cameron, go ahead. Who's your favorite?
Paul Macbeth.
Okay, there we go. We got one out of the way. And I
Yep.
think there's another one that's really obvious, and Chris isn't here, but I'll say it for Chris, and that's Miss Lat.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Ricky.
You tell me a guy that hasn't won a major in over 6 years is
He will
more
sell more discs. Yeah.
more valuable for your company that you is in third place.
I think
100%.
that I think that argument depends if you're looking at 1 year versus 10 year. If you're looking for value over the next 10 years, Ricky, you don't want to go with because he's getting to the end of his career and Isaac is surging into it. So I
I,
think
Let's
I
that
go
still
depends a
got
little bit.
5 years.
no,
Five
no.
years.
I
Shouldn't
still
Either
have
way,
20
I'd
years
go
before I
AB.
retire.
AB because he sells a lot. He sells a lot of
AB's on
discs, a
my
lot of merch,
list.
and he's
Simon.
Simon.
He's, he sells a
I
lot.
think I think Simon's a better bet than AB personally. I bet you dollars and dollars.
Yeah.
But looking at 20 years from now, Simon versus AB, I would say AB will outtake Simon in 20 years, unless Simon goes on to do, astronomical course design or private uh, events or something like that.
Let me see. What was that? Four we got right there.
I I
Paul,
understand Paul and I understand Kristen.
Kristen. Let's see.
Even
I think
Yeah,
I
Taylor.
think
AB.
I think House of Disc made the best signing this offseason. I think we might look back at this offseason and really look at Isaac in 5 years from now. Like if at the current rate in 5 years, how many majors will he have? More than Paul Macbeth if he plays the same rate.
I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either, but that's the rate he's playing on right now. That's what I'm trying to
I
explain to
get
people.
I get that. I mean, I proposed this as a question earlier, right? Would you rather have Calvin who has double digit, tour wins, or do you want Isaac who has one tour win and four majors? Like, does the major make the career because he wins those events, even though he can't win week to week? Or do you want a guy who can win all the other stuff but can't get it done at the major? Like,
Doesn't Isaac only have major wins though?
no, he has one tour win, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know
I
about
think it's
that,
I think
but
it's just four. I think it's four majors because I don't think
I,
because I even had the stat they said he's only won majors.
I mean,
It's,
I've been wrong
Uh,
before, but I
I'm
love Paige. I don't think I can pick Paige. Uh,
eh.
I and I can't think of another NPO. Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, you could say Gannon Burr. He's got a ton of potential, but it's a personality thing. So
Gannon, Gannon, Eagle. Shit.
Eagles.
Even his
I
own
don't.
brother Ezra might be better marketing. Like if we're talking about for your company, I don't
you
know,
mean the
man.
pirate?
It's
Exactly.
I mean, that
The
came out of
Pittsburgh
nowhere. It
Pirate.
definitely made me interested.
Uh, definitely Gan. I think definitely Gannon, Paul, Kristen, AB, maybe Simon.
okay. So based on the way that, let's take marketing out of this argument for a second.
All right, Mark.
Yeah,
So just straight.
Okay.
yeah, that makes this
Okay.
question much, much more subjective.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
like, let's
We're
just talk
talking.
like game for a second. I think you have to look at how we as fans value majors versus wins.
Hmm.
And or pro tour wins or money made or things like that because obviously money made in a season is very important on tour and that's an important thing. You were right about Isaac, weren't you? You just celebrated
2022 Idlewild.
2022 Idlewild. Yep.
Yep, he has one NT.
He had just finished college. Yeah, I
Okay.
remember that now. Yeah.
I was
Okay.
right
Zach,
about
I'm
something.
sorry.
Let's
I'm
go.
sorry.
You were way off,
I'm sorry.
man.
I get one win this weekend. Let's go.
Doesn't make up for that 11th place though.
Hey, we're going to Europe though, Zach. We're going to Europe. Here you
Yeah.
go.
He's gonna climb the leaderboard.
Cinco de Mayo,
Calm down.
Happy Cinco de
Cinco de
Mayo,
Mayo.
Richard. There you go.
Amen.
Enjoy yourself. Well, either way, we don't have anything coming up next week, to my knowledge. I believe it is the
Santa
Tim Sullivan.
Cruz Masters Cup.
Yes, which we do not have anyone. Do we have it going? I'm looking real quick.
I thought maybe
Uh,
we did.
Isaac's playing, Cam Rico,
we
Gannon
have
Burr, Cole
S-
Radallen,
Santa Cruz coming up
Niklas.
on 5/9 through 5/12. So this upcoming weekend, we are in the Santa Cruz Masters Cup, hosted by Top of the World Disc Golf and presented by DGA. So check your rosters going on. In the meantime, we no longer have giveaways until we get to 200 fans, 200 subscriptions. Is that what we said, Richard? I already forgot.
Something like that. Hey, Papa,
Sounds,
I was just looking. I was looking, and you had a perfect lineup. You did the opposite of what I did.
yeah, I don't know if from a fantasy side you've noticed, but I have thinned my whole lineup out, preparing for the 1 week of Europe and then trying to stay together between Kona and the rest of Europe. But Emily Weatherman left my team midweek, so if you
Yep.
need a young lady, maybe go and chase her onto your team. But she is not headed to Europe, at least for the first part. So
You dropped it?
I did. I've got
Wow.
Allie Smith and Holland Hanley for my Americans, if you will, right now. And for my European women, I have Katie Aselu and Anale Togus Manaste.
I'm hoping I
Looks like
picked up the sneaky European pick a
Did you
few
get
weeks ago when I
Lori Likkonen?
no picked up Rachel
uh,
Turton.
Turton.
Oh, yeah, Turton's
Oh,
really
Turton.
You already
She was
have
left out
Lori.
there.
Zach, you already have Lori on your bench. And by the way, that's an MPO player, Lori Lightning. That's who
Yeah,
Seth from Latitude or Seth from House of Disc said would be
yeah,
a unbelievable pickup. So yeah,
yep.
inside information. What can we say?
Oops. It's
Oops.
only it's only led me to 11th place.
The
You're really
spreadsheet.
Look. Okay, we can make jokes about this all day. That's fine.
Oh, we
But
will.
like,
Don't you worry.
but like, if we're being honest on the spreadsheet, based on expected return value, the picks I made are not unreasonable. They have had zero pans out. Like none of them panned out. Garrett Gerthy underperformed by a mile. Chris Dickerson's been underperforming in general.
Dick Skin has
Like
been bad.
Papa's you picked Sullivan Tipton, who has an expected point return of 165, and he's been averaging 246.
it's a
Like
shame for
he's been
you.
averaging no. That's it's totally fine. That's like there's Jakub Samrad had an expected value of 167 or something like that, and he's been averaging well below that. So like I don't think my picks based on my projections were that bad. It's just turned out that the season. Oh nope, Sullivan's the one who came out hot. Jakub's having a horrible start to his season. Like I don't think the process was necessarily bad. I think I just happened to miss on the process right now. And like that's how it works. Like if I just went by feels and said, yeah, Jakub is really good. I think he was going to just keep the hot hand, and he didn't. I'd look just as dumb. I just had numbers at least to back up why I'm going to pick him in the first place.
That sounded really impressive.
It wasn't.
I
I'm
don't.
still in 11th.
Okay. All right. Well, I went with the
Still.
theory of just looking at people and being like, yeah, that player is good. I should draft that player.
Same.
So, yeah, I just went with, overall knowledge base. We'll see when we get to Europe because I stuck some swings. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. So you're in first.
Yes.
Cam's in second. And
Yeah.
there's a big gap between those two, and then yeah, from second to third, fourth, fifth, all the way down. That's a big gap too. We gotta do some work here.
Yeah, I mean, the
Could be 9
seventh,
and 69.
as is perfect though, the seventh
Nice.
place person is 34 and or 39 and 39. Seventh place is perfectly that.
I don't know why our league does not score missing players as negative 50 in the live scoring. Like that seems weird to me.
That's probably because I set this up and I don't pay attention to most things that I do. So,
It's like if you go to the position right under me, they only have one FPO. There's no other FPO, but there's no
Yeah.
negative 50 accounting for that. It's just really strange because like for me, if I can do that, I'm gonna have the rest of people take my
I
better
had
sick.
I had like minus 150 something with my two men players that I should have started
uh,
other guys for.
so are you talking about Tegan, Zach?
In
And,
Casher only has three MPO, one FPO.
and
Okay.
Evan only has one FPO. Sayananda doesn't even tour, so it's just straight negative 50 points.
Yeah, she gets
Yeah.
negative 50 every week.
Weird. I'm saying it doesn't show up on the live part of it. When we do like the live
Uh,
scoring and check delete, it doesn't calculate it at all there. It just doesn't show. It's very strange.
Richard,
yeah.
did you tell Bryce to decline my trade?
No, I don't know.
I,
What
I was,
was the trade?
I gave him, I believe it was Gavin Rathbun, Ryan Mon, and Chantel for AB, Scott Withers, who doesn't even tour, and a female. And I'm like, I'm giving him a solid
Well,
female, a solid MPO player, and then giving him Ryan, who actually Ryan is touring a lot, and he's been playing pretty decent on the Pro Tour.
it's
Ooh,
because
Ryan who?
he knows you want AB too much, so he's waiting for another offer
Well,
that's better.
he's not going to win, so he might as well let me get a chance to beat Papa
He's
Hey,
only
Wolfpack.
like he's like
Have
seventh place or
you
something.
have you offered him straight cash yet?
Yeah.
I give him
Send
a
him a little
dollar. That's the best I
PayPal.
can do.
Yeah, a
I'll
little
give him a
that
quarter of my
motivator.
winnings when I beat you.
Ooh, see, that could be.
Ooh,
Isn't
that's
that what
actually
they call future consideration or something?
yeah. Cash and a player to be named later.
Cash and a player to be named later, aka just cash. All right, on that note, we don't have a giveaway. I'm stopping this recording. There's playoff hockey on.
Hey,
I'm out.
what?
Deuces.
Hey.